On today's episode of the DeRaud-Messinger Show, we preview Texas basketball and make our Week 11 Texas high school football picks. High school football fans and Longhorns fans, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. It's greatly appreciated. So to begin, Dylan, let's just get into the basketball. How are you feeling entering this basketball season?
Well, Devon, there are reports coming from the scrimmage game they played against Texas Lutheran. Sounds good. It sounds like the team is clicking, and going into this season, a lot of the concerns I would presume is not necessarily the talent they've gotten with their transfers, but how those transfers are going to work together. They've never played before. This is Coach Beard's first season at Texas. It's going to be interesting how he takes the players that are already here and the players that have come over from other teams and how they mesh. So all good reports coming from the scrimmage game. I know Trey Mitchell, the transfer from Massachusetts that had a great season with them last year, he did really well in his debut. So right now, Devon, good things.
I know you're talking about chemistry, and obviously that's important when you're bringing in so many transfers. But then you also said remaining players that were already on the roster. Dylan, how many is that? It's like 3
I want to say
four.
like 2 or 3, 4. Yeah, they're outnumbered.
Yeah, it's at least 3. I think there's 4 or 5. But I mean, you got the Andrew Jones, Courtney Ramey, Brock Cunningham, Mr. Glue Guy, X Factor, Mr. Hustle Points. I'm not worrying about him. I think that's Chris Beard's dream player because of just the defensive hustle and being the first on the floor. But like you said, I think that's probably the main question to ask is, can this team gel and gel quickly chemistry-wise? You mentioned Mitchell, some other names that Beard got. Got Marcus Carr, who might be the leader of the team eventually. He's the transfer from Minnesota, a guard. And you got Timmy Allen from Utah, Trey Mitchell from UMass, Dylan Disu from Vanderbilt, Christian Bishop, Dylan, you getting tired yet? Christian Bishop from Creighton. And you also got Devon Askew from Kentucky. And I honestly would not be surprised if I'm missing somebody because that's a lot of transfers. But Dylan, let's talk expectations. Last year's first-round exit, we're not going to mention it, but was a very disappointing end to the season or the start to the playoff madness. But what are your expectations for Chris Beard in year one at Texas?
Well, Devon, just to go back to all the names you listed on the transfer, that felt like a Los Angeles Lakers roster in the way they're just pulling free agents from everywhere. Got no talent coming up. But yeah, my expectations for this season, I want to say in an ideal world, I don't know how much flack I'm going to get for this, but a Sweet 16 appearance would be great. I mean, granted, we'll see how the beginning of the season goes for the Longhorns. I'm assuming they'll start off all right, but once they get into Big 12 play, that's really what we're going to be looking at with games against like Kansas, Beard's old team in Tech, Oklahoma State. So we'll see how they stack up if that chemistry is able to click in time for those games. But I don't assume that they're going to be at the very top of the Big 12, and when they get to the tournament, I'm looking at them as more of a 5 or 6 seed, possibly 7.
Really?
So those are my expectations.
I don't know about that. You're being mean. The Longhorns,
that's not.
They're top 5 ranked, I believe, in the AP poll. I'm thinking maybe not expectation, best case scenario, 1st seed. Maybe snag the 4th first seed. 2nd seed wouldn't be too bad. I think that's a safe bet. My expectation for this team, I think I would be happy, I believe, with a Elite 8. Elite 8, I'll take Elite 8. I know some of you fans are probably thinking Final Four, and I don't blame you. Even last year's team had Final Four potential, but obviously showed that they didn't in the end when they lost to a team that shall not be named. But
I believe Christian.
A team that shall not be named. I'm thinking Elite 8. Like you said, Sweet 16, I think that's the minimum that they really have to get to. But yet again, it comes down to chemistry, a lot of transfers.
And Devon, I know you're talking about chemistry a lot, though, and obviously the AP poll has them ranked high, but I'm saying those lower seeds going into the playoffs really because if you're looking at talent, sure, they're a top 10 team, but I mean, this is a new coach and an entirely new team that are all transfers. They've never played together. So that's my reasoning, thinking that they might be a little lower. Granted, they might just start steamrolling teams with that talent towards the end of the season. But right now, I'm a little hesitant just be calling them a a top 2 seed already.
I mean, I think that they could end up being a 5 or 7 seed, yes, but teams like you said are ranked off of talent, and the seeding at the end of the year, kind of reflects the talent that is played during the season. So if that ranking transfers over, they should be a top 2 seed, not in the nation, but 1 seed or a 2 seed. And who knows? They're playing Gonzaga at Gonzaga, I believe the number 1 team in the nation, in a short period of time. So that's going to be, I guess, a real measuring stick game early on. But obviously, like you said, they got a lot of Big 12 opponents to worry about after that, starting conference play. And we all know about the Texas move to the SEC, Dylan, because we talked about it enough with football. So
Yep.
a lot of teams are ready to beat up Beard, especially, Dylan, a school that shall not be named in Lubbock.
Oh, yep. They're waiting for him.
They're going to be packing the house. I think there's going to be more Tech fans in Austin for that one than Longhorns fans, just because, like we stated in the past, they like to travel, especially for the basketball games, believe it or not. But, yeah, that's my expectation. My other question to ask, Dylan, is, can this team shoot the 3 ball? They got a lot of great transfers, but when you look at the stats, not any of those guys are real 3-point shooters. A lot of them have good mid-range games or just inside paint play. But, that's, like I said, chemistry and I think shooting are going to be, the live or die. But on the good side of things, the good tournament teams, yes, they get hot from the 3-point line, but you need the inside play to be consistent in the tournament play. We saw that with like Duke when they had Jahlil Okafor way back in the day, really outdating ourselves 5 years ago or something, but I'm feeling okay about this team. Now we move to our Week 11 Texas high school football picks. We got our lightning round. The first game we have 6A, number 8 Lake Travis at number 1 Westlake. I have Westlake.
I have Westlake as well. The next one we got 5A D1, number 1 Denton Ryan at number 5 Frisco Lone Star. Devin, I have Denton Ryan on the road.
I have Denton Ryan as well. The next game we have 5A D1, number 2 College Station at number 10 Magnolia West. I got College Station.
I have College Station as well. The next one we got 4A D1, number 6 Kilgore at number 10 Lindale. Devin, this is going to be a close one, but I'm going with Kilgore on the road.
Yeah, I agree. This is the one that I was kind of having up in the air prior to this video, but eventually I picked Kilgore according to my notes. The next game we have 1A D1, number 8 Garden City at number 5 Rankin. Dylan, we have a love affair with Rankin, so yes. I'm picking Rankin.
Yep, Devin, it's Rankin, so I'm going to go with Rankin. And next we got 1A D2, number 7 Jayton at number 1 Motley County. Devin, I have Motley County.
I got Motley County as well. Number 1 team. You don't pick against number 1 teams on the show. Now, what do you guys think about Texas basketball? And what are your Week 11 Texas high school football picks? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.